Hi guys, I want to talk about the Regional Direct Pathway in New South Wales today for the 491 visa. My name is Tracy Chen, I am an immigration lawyer and I am a principal lawyer at Mason Chen Law Group. So as you guys know, New South Wales recently changed their requirements for the 491 visa. Well, they didn't really change the requirements, but they added a new stream basically. So I think in August or July, they released these two streams which were ridiculous. They were very hard to meet the requirements for the 491 visa in New South Wales. And now all of a sudden they have released this new stream which has been open for applications as of the 2nd of November 2022. So we have already made some applications. And now that I've experienced it and I know what's going on, I wanted to do a video to share with you guys, my experience of lodging the 491 visa. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we have law firm offices based all around Australia. I'll drop a contact link below so you can contact myself or one of our fabulous lawyers or agents. I've also created mini courses for you to learn about Australian migration. There is currently a bit of a waiting list for consultations for myself and other lawyers, so I've created these mini courses so that people can access information as soon as possible and on demand. So today's video is a regional New South Wales based direct pathway. Now remember, this is for the 491 visa only. Now before we jump into the state requirements, I want to quickly remind everybody of the expression of interest requirements. Now before you lodge any kind of general skilled migration application, as you guys know, you need to lodge an expression of interest with SkillSelect. Now to be eligible for that, you must have an occupation on the relevant occupation list. I'll drop a link below for the one for 491 visa. You must have a valid and up-to-date skills assessment. So just remember, when you do have your skills assessment, just remember that they do have expiry dates. So for example, Australian Computer Society expires after 2 years, VetAssess expires after 3 years, ANMAC, the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Association, that expires after 2 years, and Engineers Australia expires after 3 years. That's just to name a few. There's actually quite a lot of skills assessing bodies. 3 years is okay, but the ones that are 2 years, that just goes by so quickly. We had a client who were lodging the expression of interest for, and their skills assessment was expiring in about 4 months. And we told them, hey, you need to get this, renewed. And they're like, why? Why should I get renewed? I've got 4 months left in it. And I was saying to them, like, in a blink of an eye, 4 months will pass. And unfortunately, although some people get invited very quickly, like for example, recently we've had invitations, in a week or two or a couple months, you still want to make sure that you have a valid skills assessment because invitations can come anytime essentially. Anyway, you must be under 45 years of age. You need at least competent English, but as you guys know, if you have competent English, it gives you 0 points on the expression of interest. So, at the end of the day, they do look at points, so you want to do the best you can. And a lot of our clients do have superior. So that's kind of what you are competing with. The way you fill out your expression of interest, I won't go through that today. I do have videos where I talk specifically about expression of interest and the requirements, which is a lot harder than you think. I know people are like, yeah, it's easy. Yes, it's easy for applications that are straightforward, but there are a lot of people out there that have not straightforward applications. So I cannot explain to you how careful you need to be with these applications. I'm actually doing a TikTok and Reel series on mistakes I've found in people's general skilled migration applications. And obviously you must score at least 65 points on the points test. However, for the 491 visa, the state does give you 15. So if you have 50 points raw, so we call it raw. So if you have 50 points, you actually have 65 because the state gives you 15 points for 491. But that's like basically scraping by. You want to at least have 65 plus 15 because then you have 80 points. Anyway, so that's kind of the general gist of how it works. Okay, so down to the requirements. So you have to apply directly to the regional development area. And you do it through a link on the website and it allows you to select which regional development area you want to go for. Depending on where you live and depending on demand there, you want to be careful about how you're picking the RDA essentially as well. We call it the RDA. So a couple of the requirements, again, make sure you meet the points test, you meet the SkillSelect requirements, and you have an occupation on the New South Wales 491 occupation list. Now, when you look at the New South Wales 491 occupation list, there is the points and work experience requirement. Now that doesn't apply to the pathway that we are talking about today. Those points and work experience requirements apply to pathway 1 and pathway 2. But this pathway is regional New South Wales based direct pathway. And between me and my team at work, we're kind of like, all right, cool. We're gonna call this the regional pathway, and then the other one's pathway 1 and pathway 2, just to make things easier. So if I refer to regional pathway, I'm talking about this one. It would be easier if they just numbered them, right? The other one's 1 and 2, that's clear. Why couldn't they just make this one 3, you know? Anyway, now, to be eligible under the stream, you must be living in New South Wales at this time. So I think for pathway 1 and 2, you can be living offshore, but for this stream, you have to be living and working in New South Wales before you can apply. And the requirement is that you must be living and working in your nominated occupation before you apply. So for example, if you have done a Bachelor of Accounting in Australia, and then you have a skills assessment as an accountant and you're living in Orange, I love that name, Orange, it's like big orange. I've never visited before, is there big orange there? Anyway, so Orange, let's say you live in Orange and you're working as an accountant for the last 11 months, then you would have to wait 1 more month and then you'll be eligible to apply. So you need to be living and working in regional New South Wales for at least 12 months before you can apply. Now, this part is purely my opinion. And again, this is what I advise my clients. Before you guys make any application, please remember to seek advice from a Maro registered agent or an Australian lawyer, or our team. Feel free to contact us below. I believe the 12 months work experience is after the date deemed skilled. Now, this is not relevant for every occupation and the skills assessment. If you guys read the FAQs on the website, the only skills assessments that have a date deemed skilled is Australian Computer Society and VetAssess. So in my opinion, this 12 months work experience is after the date deemed skilled if you have a skills assessment with VetAssess or Australian Computer Society. That is what I'm advising, and that's what I'm telling my team members. I'm taking no chances with New South Wales, because New South Wales, if they refuse you, you either get banned for life or like a 12-month ban. I can't remember what it is, but I'm not even looking at that because that's not an option for me. Like, we're gonna do this right, and we're gonna do it right the first time. So I believe that if you can't claim it, because date deemed skilled, you can't claim any work experience prior to the date deemed skilled on your expression of interest. And so if you can't claim it on the expression of interest, I don't think that you can claim it on this nomination application. Again, this is purely my opinion. Before you make any application, be sure to get the right migration and legal advice. You must be living and working in your nominated occupation for the past 12 months at 20 hours per week. And there's a requirement that you must be making $53,900. Now, I think they did update this part recently, but there's a part that says you must be living and working in regional New South Wales in your nominated occupation, which is what we just went through, for the past 12 months with the same employer.
The same employer.
So I remember when this was just released, I don't think they had same employer. I think they updated it on 1st of November 2022. And this comes down to I need to screenshot everything. I do try to screenshot as much as I can, but because it changes so frequently and we're busy, filing applications and getting PRs of people, sometimes I don't get a chance to screenshot everything. So I think you have to be working for the same employer in your nominated occupation for the past 12 months for 20 hours per week. You obviously need to have a valid skills assessment, and you must be paid at least the TISMEET level. So $53,900, and I believe this can be paid on pro rata if you are working 20 hours per week. Then you apply online using the RDA form in the region that you wish to apply, and you need to provide evidence of all points that you have claimed. The form is quite extensive. You fill in the form, you attach the documentation, and then you wait for a nomination approval from the RDA. I think after you submit it, you have to go to RDA and make the payment of like $800 or something. And then you just wait for the nomination to come through. Now, because this was only released, on the 2nd of November, which is, 6 days ago for us, today's 8th of November, we haven't had any approved yet. So we don't really know, how long it's actually taking. But once it is approved, you should be eligible to make the visa through your IMI account. Once you are approved, you have 60 days to make the application. Then you will launch the application. You will continue to live and work in regional New South Wales. Now, do remember when they're about to nominate you, they do probably send out a form where you have to just agree that you will live in regional New South Wales for the period of your 491 visa. That's what was happening last year. So again, we don't have the information about that this year. So I do think that they'll have the same form essentially. Now, obviously, when you do get your 491 visa granted, you have to continue to live and work in regional New South Wales. Now, a couple of people have asked me, can you relocate? Look, the requirement is that you should be staying in that region that nominated you. So I think that you should stay in regional New South Wales. I don't think it actually says like you have to live in that region specifically, but it does say you have to live in regional New South Wales. That's when you sign the nominations declaration form. But when your visa is actually granted, it just says you have to live in regional Australia. It doesn't say. However, there was a seminar we attended for New South Wales, and they said that they can withdraw the nomination if they find out that people are relocated or something like that. Although I honestly believe that you can relocate if you can't find a job there. It's not ideal to have people that are unemployed there anyway. So if you really had to move because you just couldn't find a job in regional New South Wales, look, I think that's definitely justifiable. But I think before you do that or anything, I think you probably need to just notify them and ask them. You'll probably get a generic response, but I think it's better just asking before you just move for any reason. Now, after 3 years, provided you continue to live and work in regional Australia and make a minimum of $53,900, you'll be eligible to apply for the 191, which is permanent residence. Now, this is not like points test, and this isn't on demand. It's kind of like it's kind of like the old 489 when people had the 489 and apply for the 887. So I don't think you have to be worried about whether, they're going to remove it or anything like that. I think it's going to be there. I think it's going to be fine. Don't know about waiting times, like how long will it actually take from the day you apply for the 191 to get it, because again, we don't have much information on that yet. The first batch of, people who actually hold 491s are just becoming eligible for the 191. So, hopefully we'll lodge some of those soon and I'll be able to provide you guys with some more insight in relation to that. Anyways, I hope you guys found that video helpful. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below if you want me to talk about any other immigration topics. I can talk about anything immigration related, provided it's Australia. I don't know about any other countries, unfortunately. I would like to. Share this video with people who need it. Again, our contact details are below, and don't forget to check out my mini courses. We do have a little bit of a waiting list at the moment, but again, you can access the information in my mini courses on demand as soon as possible. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.